pretty interesting, but I feel like pretty clear and concise judgment in regards to this battle. But I do feel like there's maybe some points that maybe we disagree in, but I'm willing to entertain the conversation. So let's go ahead and run it.
Yeah, don't forget now it's the banger.
What's poppin' in the streets, everybody? I believe, therefore I am KingSylar. Hope you guys are doing all right today. Another battle prediction for you guys. Man, yeah. I've heard a lot of back and forth and a lot of consensus about this battle. If I'm just being real, it's pretty quiet out here in terms of the people I thought that would be talking about this battle. But yeah, this is another one of those battles to where it came exactly the way that I thought it would. And I'm willing to discuss it. But before we do, please make sure that you like, share, subscribe, leave me a comment in the video if you agree, if you don't agree. I definitely kind of want to know your thoughts in regards to this battle because I know there's a faction of people on YouTube that are hidden and mysterious and they love to just randomly say stuff, but usually the comment section of YouTube is crazy. Like, you don't know who's who and people can just say whatever the hell they want to. If you got an email, you ain't gotta have a profile picture, it's just a question mark on your face. You can say whatever you want to. You can't hide like Instagram or Facebook and stuff like that, but yeah, let's get into it. So you can see the title, Joker versus Oxy. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I feel like this battle was cut and dry. I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel like this battle was significantly much more decisive than the consensus as far as it being decisive as the Matrix and Grizzy battle. Now, the reason why I say this battle is when I looked at this and I broke this battle down, I have to be completely transparent. When I watched this one on the live stream, this one seemed pretty clear because these guys are both very dynamic dancers. They utilize movement, texture, and versatility of movement very differently, but in a very big way. And this was the one battle that I kind of was able to see that was clear on the live stream. And I had a judgment in regards to it when it came out or when I saw it live, but I was willing to wait. But here we are now, and we've watched it and we see the details. Let's break this down by round, as we always do. Round one, I have to say that this particular round from Joker, in my personal opinion, with all due respect, I do not believe was one of his best. And the reason why I say that is that I think Joker is a very unique dancer. He has texture. He has versatility of movement. He has a very gritty approach and an abstract approach to his dance. And often he is very heavy character-based as far as in terms of, or style-based, how he's going to move, not necessarily what we're portraying for what he's giving out in terms of character in general. For lack of better words, he's not embodying any particular thing or theme the same way that we saw in Oxy's first round. So with this particular round, I honestly felt like Joker came into that round freestyling. And I say this and I know it's gonna sound bad, but I just have to be blunt about it because as a fan and as a dancer, even I have to look at something and say, okay, there really wasn't anything there that stood out that was super significant aside from when he put his arms around Oxy, kind of did like a roll and then slammed him and then kind of did the elbow to the ground. There was nothing more significant than that. He had get off, had some layers as far as in terms of body texture, and definitely had material. But I didn't really see a lot of distinctive material as far as that goes with maybe his style or maybe his character. I didn't really see any combos. I didn't see any shirt moves. There was not a clear, definitive presentation of creativity in that first round. It literally just looked like a very long tournament round to me. It almost kind of looked like he took a very kind of like street approach to it. And to me, it was just kind of like, it's not that this is whack, but I don't think that he's not progressing on anything. Like, he's not outclassing Oxy anywhere, because y'all both move well as far as versatility. You're both very explosive. Wasn't really doing that because maybe that's just natural to him, so it's just kind of like an obvious thing that's going to happen. But there wasn't any technical approach. I didn't really feel like maybe it was a thing to where he was going to kind of like, when I say technical approach, as far as in terms of showing a seamless amount of moves or material, or maybe even combining that with fundamental application as far as like different types of arm placements or arm patterns or swings or jabs or body control, things of that nature. I wasn't really seeing that from him. And I watched around, I watched it when it came out, and then I watched it 2 more times, obviously, before I did this video. And again, I say it's not that his rounds were whack. It just didn't look like he brought anything prepared. So to me, I felt like he really, really left the door open with that round. And in my personal opinion, Oxy is probably one of the worst people that you could possibly do that against, because even if he doesn't win, or even if he doesn't show up his best, he's always going to have something prepared. I don't think I've ever seen Oxy walk into a battle where he doesn't have something prepared. He's just meticulous in that way. So transitioning obviously to Oxy's round, Oxy came in there with the Inspector Gadget character. We see it, it's clear. He even played the theme song at the beginning. As a 90s or technically 80s baby, I knew it immediately. Dun, 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 dun. That's it, I knew it. Got it already. The trench coat only helped. So we saw him, he developed his round. We saw certain levels of creativity. We even saw like amazing points to where he was utilizing like musicality, showing the little like where he was crushing something. Showed that on several occasions. There are multiple points to where like maybe he would do like a crazy level change, stop, let the crowd see him. He was showcasing, and I made that point probably in 2 other battle reviews now, is that you guys are on a stage. You have to showcase to a certain degree. You have to have some level of presentation when it comes to your creativity. You can't just go out there and just freestyle it. That's not going to work in all cases. And not to mention, these battles have been set up for quite a while, so I don't understand why you would come to the battle without something prepared in the first place. But I digress. I could be wrong. Maybe Joker brought something. I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm just saying that you shouldn't if you know your opponent well in advance. So, yeah, Oxy was literally outclassing him in every round. And when someone comes in and when they are, often I feel like this is the format usually when people get one rounded. Set material and moves, musicality, an intro or some level of showcase or performance, and a kill-off or a move that would be a frame that was kind of coined to me. Not necessarily it is a kill-off, but you need to create it as though it's supposed to be a kill-off. I learned that from Jay Crush. Your best move should be set as your kill-off. You want that to be your ending statement, and then after you do that move, it needs to be combined with precision and execution and musicality and energy, so to speak. It needs to be big or vibrant or explosive. And then after that, get off or spaz. Obviously, we saw that, and that was pretty much all she wrote. Now, do I think that was necessarily a round that Joker had the potential to fend off? Absolutely. With respect, I've seen better rounds from both. But that's why I said earlier is I felt like Joker left the door open because his round failed to execute so much that it was just kind of like, all right, well, if that your first round, it's common consensus. Your first round should always be your best round. That's when you're fresh. That's when you're prepared. You shouldn't be tired. It should be your best round. Physically, it should be your best round. Oxy came in there, did what he did, so to speak, kind of lined him up, and then set it up to where he was trying to get him out of there in the first round. And after that was over, it took a second. You can even kind of watch the live stream or watch the battle back. It took a while for Joker to kind of get that next round started because people were just kind of like, it's a wrap. You know? And there was even a moment to where like Oxy stopped and kind of let it breathe, I think for like maybe like, was it like 20 or 30 seconds or something like that? Got out there and started spazzing again. He just went in there and did the job that he was supposed to do, which was win. Or at least go in there with the mentality to win and end it as quickly as possible. He even said it, you know, in his in the press conference. You know, Oxy doesn't go into battles to exchange. That's never been Oxy's MO. I've talked to him from time to time. We're pretty consistent, but that's never been his MO. So I think it would be foolhardy for anyone to go in with that approach in the first place. So obviously after that, Joker went out there for another round. And you can see in the video, like Joker's kind of like looking at the crowd and kind of like interacting with them, and there everybody's just kind of like, from what I can make out, they are saying it's a wrap. Now the one factor that I do want to play because it's important, and I think it goes to as far as like the consensus in the room. People were holding their ones up before Hour went out there and started. Maybe some people can interpret that as like he's inciting them to hold up ones. It's a one, right? It's a one, right? Because that happens a lot. I'm not gonna lie, I despise that. Like, one, don't make that about you, because I think that's a very self-centered thing to do, and it's kind of corny to me. Like, don't go out there and be like, oh, it's a one, right? It's a one, right? That's for anybody. Like, don't do that. If it's a kill off or it's a one round, the room will read it and they'll recognize it. You'll feel it. You will feel it. It'll be like, all right, this is over. Like, we don't want to see anymore. So with that being said, those ones were going up before Hour walked out there and started kind of doing that. You know? So just kind of putting that out there as like a thing. So yeah, the Joker went out there, he danced again, and it just wasn't up to par. You know, I don't know, with respect, like where his head was at mentally. Maybe he was tired, obviously. I mean, they did fly in the day before, if I'm not mistaken, you know, and then straight to the event. I don't know if they got proper rest. I'm not trying to create no excuses and stuff like that. I'm just simply saying, to me, Joker was not on his best that day, and I think that it was clear that it was a wrap, because that felt like the room was like, was kind of like, it's over. And like I said, I felt like that was much more definitive for me, because it felt like a 1-2 cross. It felt like a jab, line you up, pull that arm down, bam, overhand right, down for the count. You could see that a mile away. Even the setup, the click, nothing in there, boom, bring it back, bang, spaz out. So that's why I say presentation, execution, musicality, and energy have to be there. And I think with respect, Oxy executed that perfectly. So that's just my sentiments about it. I've been told that Joker doesn't agree to it, that it wasn't in one round, but as I said before, there's nothing we can do about it. I can't change anybody or deter how they believe, or what they believe in regards to the battle, but ultimately at the end of the day, it was called. So, I mean, with respect, at least he got to get out there again and tried, you know, give him that. But everybody was just like, nah, we're good. Next battle. So that's all I got in regards to that battle. But please keep in mind, you see these things. It's not a joke. These stage battles, they do play a factor. Dancing on stages definitely plays a factor. It makes people much more susceptible to being entertained, and may make them much more rambunctious or anxious to see something happen, which is just simply kind of treading on the lines as far as in terms of people's emotional biases and things of that nature. So it is what it is, but good battle overall. I appreciate both dancers, but this is the point of the conversation where I turn the video over to you guys. I really want to know what your thoughts are. comment. Was it a 1 round? Should have been 2 rounds? Was it a kill off? What happened? Let me know. Do you agree or disagree with what I'm saying? Or am I tripping? Definitely love to know your opinion. But appreciate y'all rocking with me. Catch you on the next one. Subscribe to that channel. Peace.